Donald Trump is a narcissist and he's an egomaniac. He is not a serious person. Look, it's all just an act. It's all just a solo show. The joke's on us. Donald Trump's campaign is not about making America great again. It's about making Donald Trump great.
So that was September. This is May. Former Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal with nary a kind word for Donald Trump, but now he says he's on board to support the presumptive nominee. We first reported this yesterday here in America's Newsroom, and today we wanted to speak with Bobby Jindal. He's with me now. How you doing, Governor? Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me back on the show.
Narcissist, egomaniacal, madman, on and on it goes. What's the difference now, Governor?
Well, two things. And, Bill, there was a lot more to that clip. You're exactly right. And I'm not walking away from my criticisms. Look, I haven't had a sudden epiphany. I don't think Donald Trump has evolved since that time. I continue to be critical. He wasn't my first, second, or third choice for president. But two things have changed. One, the people have spoken, and that's important. Unlike many in the establishment, I think it's important that we listen to voters in Republican primaries that are telling us they're frustrated and they're mad, not only at President Obama, but also at the Republican leadership. But secondly, and even more importantly, but we're down to a binary choice. It's either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't think he's a conservative, but I do think he is better than Hillary Clinton. Just two examples. The next president will appoint a very critical person to the Supreme Court of the United States. That person may be the tie-breaking vote on whether we have religious liberty rights, on the scope of our Second Amendment rights, on whether they're going to rein in the federal government like the EPA when they overreach. I don't think there's a chance Hillary Clinton will put a constitutionalist on the court. I'm not convinced. There's not a 100% chance that Donald Trump will, but at least it's greater than zero. And then secondly, look, Hillary Clinton was for Obamacare before there was an Obamacare. She was for Hillary Care in the 90s. There's not a chance she will rein in or repeal Obamacare. The next president may decide whether Obamacare lives on and continues to be in existence or whether it gets repealed. At least there's a chance that a President Trump will get rid of Obamacare.
Let me try and squeeze in two more questions. The reality of Donald Trump is absurd. He's a non-serious carnival act. That was September. That was 8 months ago. And I understand you've changed now. What do you say to Jeb Bush? What do you say to Lindsey Graham, who, at least as of today, clearly they are not going to cross over?
Well, look, I hope that with time, there is still time between now and November. I hope with time people will come to the conclusion that I have, that we may not like Donald Trump, but he is better than Hillary, but I have a lot of respect for my fellow Republicans. I understand why people are struggling with this choice. I'm not going to criticize anybody who comes to a different conclusion. Everybody gets to decide how they want to vote. At the end of the day, there's only two choices. We may not like everything he says and some of the policy positions he has taken, but he is definitely better than Hillary Clinton.
He said last week that a former rival called him up. And he said, how can you say you're going to support me now when you said all these bad and nasty things about me? And then, you know, his conclusion was that, well, you're just a politician. I don't know if he was saying that about you. Was he?
No, I have not talked to Donald Trump since we were both in the race. So I've not talked to him for several months, and I don't want a job from him. I don't want anything from him. Bill, for me, this isn't about the Republican Party. This is about our country. I've spent a lot of time saying in the last several years that we're headed in the wrong direction. We need a fundamental course correction. And to me, Hillary Clinton represents more of the same, more government dependence, more borrowing, more spending, more government regulations. We know that path doesn't work.
So one more thing,
Donald Trump's path will work, but you'll be better.
I'm using your words now as of today, not last September. I do not pretend Donald Trump is the Reagan-esque leader we so desperately need. Hardly an inspiring slogan, I know, end quote. I'll give you 15 seconds before the computer cuts us off to explain where you are now, in your head and your heart.
I'd love to tell you that I'm voting excitedly for the next conservative champion. Sometimes, I wish elections were always like that. Sometimes you have to choose the lesser of two bad choices. He will be better than Hillary Clinton. I don't walk away from anything I said last September. I still embrace that. We got two choices. He is better than Hillary Clinton.
Governor, thank you. Bobby Jindal there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana today.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again, sir. Thanks for coming back. Martha.